We see them everywhere. They come in various sizes, they warn us of potential hazards and danger, and they are produced in their millions all around the world. They are the traffic cones. What exactly is a traffic cone? The English dictionary definition of them is a solid or hollow object that tapers from a circular or roughly circular base to a point, often used to separate or close off sections of a road. But this overly simplified description barely begins to explain the vast array of uses of this object. Yes, it's certainly used in the controlling of traffic, hence the name traffic cone. But if you think about it, we come across this object in all manner of walks of life. But just how did this relatively innocuous object first come into our lives? Back in the 1940s, a chap by the name of Charles D. Scanlon was busy at work as a painter for the street painting department. He was tired of vehicles constantly driving through his newly painted work and had been trying for some time to think of ways to resolve this problem. It was a particularly hot day in July, so he took some time out to sit by the side of the road to eat an ice cream. As he sat, he thought about ways he could try to stop the traffic driving through his newly painted lines, when all of a sudden he had a brainwave. And so the traffic cone was born. Of course, the first traffic cones were not the vibrant, easily accessible objects that you see today. The first ones were made from concrete and were so much heavier to move around, often causing some difficulties. Today's versions of the traffic cone are more commonly brightly coloured thermoplastic or rubber cones, making them much easier to carry around and much less likely to cause any embarrassing mishaps. Or do they? Now, of course, traffic cones are produced by the millions and used on roads all around the world. But road management is not the only role this object is qualified for. Its numerous uses are innumerable. Traffic calming, musical instruments, headwear, artificial limbs, and water features are only a few examples of why we owe such a big debt of gratitude to the traffic cone. We caught up with Britain's biggest traffic cone fan. So, Julian, you're Britain's #1 traffic cone fan, I understand. Yeah. Good. So what is it that you find so fascinating about traffic cones?
Well, it's like they're sort of round, aren't they? And then pointy at the end. Sort of like a cone shape.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. So you collect traffic cones? I mean, how long have you been collecting traffic cones for?
Most of my life now, actually, about 12 years.
Wow, 12 years. So how many do you have in your collection?
2.
A fascinating insight there into the popular appeal of the everyday traffic cone. So what have we learned from this in-depth examination of all things cone? Well, we know a bit more about its beginnings. We know that it is not just Britain's most beloved object. We know that it's used from all sorts of things, from art installations to hazard warnings, keeping us safe at all times of the day until... Idiot put that there.